In the realm of politics, the phrase "a close race" is as familiar as the hum of campaign rallies and the buzz of political fervor. It's a phenomenon well documented on a dedicated Wikipedia page with nearly 200 instances in the United States alone where elections were won with a razor-thin margin of 0.1%. That's right, victories decided by votes you could count on your fingers. So, whether you're a seasoned campaign manager or a candidate in the running, understanding how to tilt the odds in your favor is paramount. Drawing insights from hundreds of elections worldwide and real-time campaigns on our campaigning platform, Call Hub, we bring you 7 essential elements to incorporate into your strategy. Create a relatable message. In 1941, amid the turmoil of World War II, Franklin D. Roosevelt uttered the resonant words, "We are going to win this war and the peace that follows." His message struck at the hearts of his people, who at that time probably just wanted to see their drafted loved ones come home. This powerful message, addressing the prevailing concerns of the time, secured his 4th term as leader of the free world. While your ambitions may not be as high as the Oval Office, crafting a clear and relatable message remains vital. If you're wondering whether your message is relatable, ask yourself these 4 questions. 1. Does it address current problems faced by your constituency? 2. Is the language used simple and clear? 3. Is your message true and credible? 4. Does it answer the question on everyone's mind? What will voting for this candidate do for me? Once you have 1 or 2 messages finalized, do some tests to see how well it holds up. You can do this by using interviews, call and text surveys, and focus groups. Step 2. Now that you've got a great message, let's start organizing an army of volunteers to spread it. Volunteers are the unsung heroes of any political campaign. And nowhere was this more evident than in the 2008 Obama campaign. Unlike previous campaigns that paid hundreds of staff, political consultants, and canvassers, the Obama campaign's victory was derived totally from the 2.2 million unpaid enthusiasts who organized their neighborhoods to go out and vote. Use your objective and message as something your volunteers can rally behind. You can also share volunteer stories on social media to further drive engagement. If you're interested in crafting the perfect volunteer management strategy, you can read our blog that goes much more in depth on the topic. Just click on the annotation above or in the link below. Step 3. Use multiple channels of fundraising. With all the different fundraising channels out there, there's no one method that will guarantee the most donations. So if you want to make sure you're not leaving money on the table, take some time to understand ins and outs of a few different fundraising tactics. Of course, you'll have the traditional fundraising events you see on TV, but some other ways you might not have thought of are merchandising and social media. Oh, and once you get those donations pouring in, don't forget to follow up and thank your donors. Not only is it the polite thing to do, they also go a long way in retaining donors' interest and encourage repeat donations. Step 4. Come up with a solid budget. This means identifying where your funds are coming from and also where you're spending it. And again, like fundraising, finding the right place to put your money may not be so obvious. Take a cue from Donald Trump, who invested over $23 million in Facebook ads in 2019, proving that unconventional methods can yield results. Start with identifying your win number, the amount of votes you need to win, and then identify which channel is getting you the most bang for your buck. Step 5. Get noticed by the locals. This is a crucial step for local elections, but also for any campaign in general. Make sure your home ground support is solid, as people tend to vote for people they feel are part of the community. You can do this by participating in community events, getting introduced to private circles, and communicating with local influencers. You can also put up signs and posters around public spots in town and at busy intersections. Distribute door-to-door literature, or even go for a local TV or radio show spot if the voters are inclined to find you that way. Step 6. Go all in on GOTV. The crux of any political campaign lies in getting out the vote. All efforts under your campaign strategy boil down to this phase. Even if you execute all of your strategy perfectly but fail to mobilize your supporters on voting day, all that effort will go down the drain. In fact, a successful GOTV effort can move the needle by more than 10 percentage points. If there was any way better suited to tip the scales in your campaign's favor, this is it. As Election Day approaches, you have to make sure every voter who showed interest goes out and votes. If you maintained a voter contact list with information on all the voters contacted over the campaign period, this should be easy to do with any mass texting software. You could also have a GOTV drive in the week before the election and a final reminder on voting day. Step 7. Door-to-door canvassing. Even though the 21st century offers us many advanced ways of reaching voters, Sometimes this old-school method can still be super effective. After all, people are more likely to form a personal connection when having a face-to-face rather than a phone call. It's also cheaper than putting up signs or distributing campaign literature. The best practice is for the candidate to personally canvass in areas with likely supporters and swing voters, and for volunteers to cover the rest of the ground. You should also be training your volunteers, making them rehearse the script and answers to some common rebuttals that they might encounter. And the beauty of going door to door, it lets you have open-ended conversations with swing voters, the people who haven't made up their mind yet about who they're going to vote for. These could get you those final percentage points that you need to win the election. Software tools like eCanvasser or Polis are worth looking into. They let you manage the field activities of your volunteers and make canvassing much easier. In conclusion, your local political campaign strategy is the backbone of success. Recruiting dedicated volunteers, active community involvement, and a robust last-minute GOTV campaign can be game changers. A well-crafted strategy allows you to adapt goals and funds to match your progress. We hope you found this video informative. For more insights, check out our blog, link below.